and you've met, Giannis, Harden, Magic Johnson, D Wade, Shaq, Zion, J. Cole, Devin Booker, the list kind of just goes on and on. What does the game of basketball mean to you? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sideline Stories. Today we're here with Mike Kaufman, also known as Overtime Mikey. How's it going today, man?
What's going on? It's going good. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you for taking the time to come on. Can you just start with a quick intro of who you are for anyone who doesn't know yet?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, my name is Mike Kaufman, aka Overtime Mikey. I work at Overtime. Been at Overtime pretty much from the start. Have a unique job where I run our social video editing team. I run our sneaker vertical Overtime Kicks. And then I'm also kind of like a social media personality and create my own content and have seen real growth especially on like TikTok and platforms like that. But yeah, played basketball in college, played basketball overseas for a couple years before I moved to New York and started working at Overtime. But yeah, I guess in the sense, I'm a content creator and a basketball junkie.
Awesome. And let's get into some quick, kind of more rapid questions, and then we'll get into the details after that. What's the greatest moment of your basketball career as a player?
So as a player, it's definitely getting the first contract to play professionally in Israel. I came from a really small college, so it wasn't like scouts were offering me contracts overseas or anything like that. I kind of had to go abroad and try out with some teams, take a one-way flight, take a little bit of a risk and try to get on a squad. And I did well enough to impress, one particular team, and I got that contract, and that was definitely the best. That's when the dreams come true. And it's just surreal. I wasn't making that much money, but to make money playing basketball is pretty wild.
Can you give us your top 5 NBA players of all time?
Michael 1, LeBron 2, Kareem 3, Magic 4, Kobe 5.
A lot of Lakers on that list. I like it though. A few quick predictions and we're gonna keep moving on. Who's coming out of the East this year?
I think the Cavs are coming out of the East. Or that's like a pretty hot take.
What about the West?
And in the West, the Suns. The Suns are just the best team right now, and it's like just very clear they're in rhythm. CP3 is playing like he was in 2012. He's playing at that high of a level, and Devin Booker's taking it up a notch, and their role players are just so good, and they're just got everything clicking.
The Suns over Cavs in how many games?
5.
And Book's your MVP.
Ooh, yeah, I guess so.
Who is the coolest non-basketball celebrity that you've balled with? And I have to say non-basketball because like Dwayne Wade is a celeb now, but so like not a former pro, but just a celebrity.
Yeah, definitely J. Cole. Even though he technically was a pro basketball player.
That is true.
J. Cole, because he's really a rapper. But yeah, J. Cole. Not only is he as down to earth and real as he is in his music, but he's a good hooper. And he's like 30. He's like old. He's like 37. Yeah. He's still athletic. He can still get up and down the court.
And is J. Cole, in your opinion, the best celebrity baller out there?
I feel like in the mainstream, yeah. Like I would pick him over Quavo just because of the size. Like I think Quavo's skilled, but he's like kind of undersized and doesn't have like the quickest like first step or anything like that. And then Drake is just slow and not as. I feel like Quavo is better than Drake. There's probably like some rappers that are like not as famous that are better at basketball. And maybe like 2 Chainz used to be better back in the day when he was younger, but I'll go J. Cole again.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Davies can ball too. But no,
also Lil Dicky can shoot it.
Don't sleep.
I don't know if you've seen that footage, but he's got a pretty looking jumper. Lil Dicky looks like he was like MVP at his Jewish summer camp growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That checks out. I really wanted to ask you in the most simple terms, what does the game of basketball mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, the game of basketball means the world to me. Like, besides my family and like my parents, like there's no greater teacher, greater guide in my life besides basketball, between the lessons learned, the flights, the countries I've seen, the opportunities, like everything is really from basketball. Because if you look at my work ethic and consistency or whatever, and like, my passion for basketball turned into learning how to work hard. School wasn't necessarily like studying in school wasn't natural for me in the way basketball was. So it's really taught me everything and built my character and everything I am today. So I definitely owe the game of basketball a lot, but I really truly believe that like everything you put into the game comes back to you one way or another. So it's like I'm sitting here today, I didn't make it to the NBA, didn't make millions of dollars playing basketball, but it's paying dividends here and there, through my career and through the opportunities I've had. And I think it'll continue. If you keep putting in the work, insanely consistent, good things happen. You create your own good luck. But yeah, I got to thank basketball a lot. And I still really enjoy playing the game, busting people's ass at Equinox.
Exactly. I've seen the clips, man. You still let people know what's up when you're playing pickup. I just feel like it's been kind of the common denominator since probably you were a kid, because you always wanted to play at the next level, and then you were able to do that professionally. And then you were able to, work kind of the first step in your professional career. Your first big step was at Overtime. And you've met, Giannis, Harden, Magic Johnson, D-Wade, Shaq, Zion, J. Cole, Devin Booker. The list kind of just goes on and on. And I think, can you say a little bit more about how what you put into the game kind of will come back and pay dividends? Because the way I see it is like, if you do it the right way, which is like, to me, the right way is like being true to yourself and being true to the ones around you, and really relationship building to a point where you're growing out your basketball network. To me, that's super like it's very fulfilling, but it's also kind of part of the long-term game.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, yeah, like, meeting all these icons is definitely really a cool experience. And like, it like gives me goosebumps sometimes when I think about all the full circle moments that I've had in my life. Like, it's kind of crazy going to All-Star Weekend, going to all these things that as a kid, I was watching on TV. It's a really cool experience, and things start to get normal, and you have to kind of remind yourself that it's not normal, and it's really cool. But it definitely keeps me hungry. And once you accomplish things, like there's always something next on the horizon. So. I've definitely taken some time to really appreciate things and be present, but I am really excited for what the future holds too.
Mikey, really appreciate you taking the time today. If there's anything else you would like to add, now is the time. Any shout outs or where people can find you to follow along with your journey?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you having me on. If I could do one plug right now, it would be for Overtime Kicks. Basically, during the pandemic, we started this sneaker culture vertical, and it's really taken off. 2 million followers on TikTok, almost 200,000 followers on Instagram. I started this this podcast studio show for it, where we're talking all the best stuff. So if you like sneakers, if you like culture, it's definitely a good follow. So make sure you do that. And then you know where to find me on IG, Overtime Mikey. Also, my basketball account, Better Bounce, and on TikTok, Overtime Mikey. Too many accounts to keep count, but yeah, make sure you also follow Overtime Elite at OTE. Following this league and the athletes we have and the team down there, Ryan, Josh, Rudy, and a lot of these other guys, they're crushing it. So it's really fun to watch, and the account's growing really fast. Next
generation right there. All right, Mikey, thank you so much for taking the time today, and we will see you soon.
All right, man. Take it easy.